Hello everyone, Scholar for Truth here. You all know me as, of course, Chris on Facebook. And I wanted to make a video on the topic of predestination and election. Particularly in this video, I want to answer an objection that is often raised against the doctrine of predestination, and that is an election. So I'm going to do that in this video. It is often charged at us that hold to the doctrines of grace that we believe in fatalism. Allow me to answer this objection. In order to do so, we must define both terms, fatalism and determinism. Fatalism, according to Noah Webster's 1828 dictionary, is defined as follows: the doctrine that all things are subject to fate, on that they take place by inevitable necessity. Determinism is defined, again, by Noah Webster 1828 dictionary, as the following: having a firm or fixed purpose as a determined man, or manifesting a firm resolution as a determined continence. In other words, one has a cause, the other does not. Now that the terms have been defined, let us answer the objection. We as Calvinists, or those that believe the doctrines of grace as it is known, do not hold to fatalism. Fatalism involves random acts that have no cause or purpose. It involves a random force. Think of it in terms of the movie Star Wars when you think of the Force. It's very Gnostic and New Agey, and we do not hold to this idea. As an example, we who believe in predestination and election, however, believe in what is known as determinism, in that all things have a cause, and that cause is God himself. We believe we do make choices, and that these are real choices. They are not illusions, and they do have an effect and a result. Of course, unlike fatalism, fatalism says that there are no real choices, it's all illusion, and there is no effect, or let alone really a cause. For an example of biblical determinism, in the true sense of the word, for example, when God changes and regenerates a person, he creates within them a new heart and causes them to receive the truth. For example, see Ezekiel 36, 25, and 26, in John chapter 1, verses 12 and 13. So there we have a cause, we have a choice, and we have an effect. God is the cause, and he causes us to open our, he is the cause that opens our hearts, and the effect is receiving the truth by being regenerated. That's one example. One more example I could give, and I will use this because a lot of people have a lot of problems with this, but I'm going to use this as probably one of the best examples of determinism where cause and effect and outcome do happen. And the example I will use is the death of Christ. God used men to put Jesus to death, and it was predetermined beforehand. See Acts 4:27 and 28. Did these men not make real choices that were real? Yes, they did make choices. And there was a cause behind their choice and a result behind it. God was the cause, and he used men to bring about his plan, and the effect was that Jesus would die for the sins of his people, and that they would have salvation. He used men as the instrument, basically. If a person is going to deny determinism or predestination and election as defined, then they will have to say basically that no, God did not predetermine Christ's death beforehand. He did not predestinate it. He wasn't the guiding hand behind it. He didn't use men to bring about his plan in that sort of way. So if that is the case, then you have a real problem here. So to answer the question, do we as Calvinists and sovereign grace believers believe in fatalism, where there is no cause or purpose, or shall we say effect, behind the actions that we do? The answer, of course, is an emphatically no. We hold to determinism, and that there's a reason behind all the events, and that there is a cause behind all the events. And that cause is God. And the result, in effect, is God using men to bring about his redemptive plan through his providence. So to answer the question, to those who object to the doctrines of predestination election, do we hold to fatalism? As is often we are accused of? The answer, of course, is no. So, to those of you that have had this objection raised at you by those who deny the doctrines of predestination and election, I hope this video has been helpful to you into answering that question, because this question or this objection is usually thrown up all the time, and it's a fallacy of equivocation, because it is not the same thing. So I hope this video has been useful to you into answering that question, and that it will help you understand better what the doctrine of predestination election is as biblically defined, which is a determinative course of action, as opposed to the Gnostic concept, which is the misrepresentation of our position, and that it is not the same thing. One has a cause and an effect and a reason behind it. Fatalism, which is the other, does not have a cause, does not have an effect. It's just basically random. So that's pretty much what we believe as Reformed or Calvinistic or sovereign grace believers, whatever you want to call it. So I hope this video has been useful for you in answering the question. And if this objection is raised against you, you can always refer to them to this video. Or if you have me on Facebook, you can refer to the article that I have written on this, which is basically what this video is. It's a sort of a re-summary of that article, but with a little bit more in depth. So once again, I hope this video has been useful for you. Take care, and God bless, and sola Deo Gloria to Christ alone. Amen. God bless, guys.